Okay, folks, we are approaching the climax of Donkey Kong Country, is how I'm gonna call it. Now, most people assume that the climax is at the end of the game, and you may be saying, well, hey, we're on World 3, why are we at the climax? The reason why is because the toughest stage in the game is the very first stage of World 4. Every stage after that, with the exception of maybe Poison Pond, is pretty much not as hard as that stage. I consider that the absolute toughest stage in the game, and I think most people would agree. So we are approaching it, and my palms were sweaty doing it. I was aware of the tribulations, but you guys get some entertainment in this. So for now, just look at the pretty sunset and enjoy one of the last jungle stages in the game, if not the last. But this stage has its quirks. So you're going to be introduced to Manky Kong. So he's the orange one, and you're going to see him very shortly. He may not be annoying in this stage, but don't worry. So there he was. Obviously, there's a lot of bonus stages in this, but it's not in the mood to tell you the truth. But we will definitely continue. And I've decided I'm pretty much going to do Donkey Kong Country 2 after this, because I feel like, beating these games is not that much of a difficulty. It's just a question of getting it done. So that's definitely something that's going to continue. But so when I played this game, I don't know how. Well, let's talk about something else. So really, this game is tougher than Super Mario World. But I was trying to think of what else. So I don't know what people think as far as the Genesis, really that sort of thing. Because I remember hearing amongst the internet that the Genesis was doing better than the Super Nintendo back in 1993 and 4. And I really don't know if we owe that to Mortal Kombat. That's really the thing is, the Sega had the sports games down. If you didn't know that, if you're younger or something like that, back in 1992, 3, and 4, Sega was known for sports games. Tecmo Bowl was big, Madden had just come out, hockey was really big. I mean, there were just sorts of things going on. And, PlayStation obviously became the head honcho there, but at that point in time, it was the Sega Genesis. But the reason why it did not continue is just because Nintendo was better at making games just adventure games and that sort. Sega had the more mature approach, but you probably would never find a game like this on the Sega, and they did try. But it's the same thing with Zelda. They just needed more things to lure people in. But it's funny because the 90s were basically the same kind of things that were going on in the early 2000s, as people did want those games that were kind of more that you could just kick back and didn't really have to you didn't really have to get serious with. But I was trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Sega was just a monster. I do recommend owning a Genesis. Really, because Sega's the only one that doesn't have machines still out. But so the ideas in this game are really well put together. And that's the thing. You wouldn't think that Donkey Kong liked bananas that much, would you? It's really... I don't... If you saw that, I don't really know what happened. I don't really know what happened as far as throwing in that barrel at the ground. He didn't really throw it that far, but... If you ever held a barrel, they're actually pretty heavy. You don't see barrels around unless they're more of like a country store, but I do like the emphasis that they put on it. You know, seeing as, you know, the original Donkey Kong did start with barrels. You know, it's just something you forget about. But I don't know how much Miyamoto had to do with this game. I think really he probably just allowed the use of it. But Rareware is a shell of its former self. They don't really have anything going for them. Well, I guess I don't want to say that. I just don't know what they've been up to. So. Alright, so here we go. This is, you know, I'm definitely going to save because I don't want to do that again. I recommend you guys do the same. And in another thing, you will have to play 5 stages before you can save in World 4. So they intentionally were being contrived just to make you have to go at the utmost effort. So definitely don't walk into this undermined. You can definitely go back to World 1 and get a bunch of lives, which is what I would do. So you're in these upcoming videos, you will see game overs. Believe it.